And you're live.
Cool. Well, hello everyone. Happy Halloween, I guess. I'm isum1644, also known as isum, elsum, pipesum, zoomy, and some other stuff, because I never bothered. Anyways, this is NieR Automata, weaponless percent, I guess. Basically, I'm gonna go through a ending as quickly as I can with my bare fists. So just gonna get set up a bit. This is just to keep all the default stuff from the previous save file. And we just use normal because easy difficulty, though any difficulty can be used. And the other thing is the partner NPC style has to be set to passive or long ranged. Those are the only two settings that are allowed. Also, I am running the game in English voices because it's faster, and English text because it's nicer. It's timed in art in-game time, but anyways, I'm ready to start whenever you guys are. So I guess
Just count me down.
okay. 3, 2, 1, go. So first thing that happens is there's a 4-minute and 30-second long shoot 'em up section. So there's not much to do during that. It's just an auto scroller where you get to watch some nice cutscenes, listen to 2B talk for a bit, and shoot some things that spawn from wherever they spawn from. The weaponless category isn't really that much of a popular category, but essentially what happens is that whenever you play as 2B or 9S, you cannot use the weapons you are given. So like Virtuous Contract, Virtuous Dignity, the two weapons you get at the beginning of the game, you can't use those. Instead, you use your bare fist to beat everything in the game. So that's what's going to happen after the shoot 'em up section, as the first frame I can actually unequip my weapons is after this shoot 'em up section. Anyways, during this, I'm going to be getting hit by those lasers that are coming from the top, because they're recoveries that we have. We have 15 small recoveries, 1 large recovery, and 5 medium recoveries. And to make menuing faster, which is the shortcut menu used to apply buffs, you want to get rid of as many recoveries as possible. So it's easiest to just get rid of all your larges and mediums. The next thing is I'm going to be moving the other pilots around, make everything die faster. Poor robots. And just killing everything as they spawn on screen. Anything else I need to say? Just trying to think. No, I'm just moving everything around. Kill these things fast. I think I forgot something. Anyways, no, I think that's about it. There's just not much that happens during shoot 'em ups. You just kill everything as they spawn. And it's cycle based, so you already know where everything is. A lot of stretch breakers during this part, I guess. There's about a minute left, so some part over here. Because that gets the last of my 2 beating recoveries out of here. So whenever I open the shortcut menus, I can apply a buff. I have 3 melee buffs. This increases my damage by 2 times, and this allows me to kill everything twice as fast, as you'd kind of expect. So you use that to kill the bosses pretty quickly. Oh, I'm still okay. Alright, and that's it for the shoot 'em up. So now comes the part where we explain all the weaponless stuff. So first, I need to unequip all my weapons, as I said before, so I dash twice over here, and after I dash twice I can now go into the main menu and unequip my weapons. Oh, I went to there. So when you use bare fists, there are 2 ways, 2 main ways of dealing damage fairly quickly. One is that you'll see me punch twice and then weapon swap. Weapon swap is I just do this. It's up on the D-pad, and essentially what that does is it allows me to use the first attacks of my weapon pretty quickly, of my bare fists, and they deal the most damage and attack the fastest out of all 4 of my hit combo. So it gets reset every single time that I do a weapon swap and allows me to kill things pretty quickly. Another thing you'll see me do is you'll see me do a long dash and then punch something. This allows me to hit the enemy 3 times with that first punch. And those are the main ways of using attacks. Right there, I went to my main menu to apply a melee attack buff. So all my melee attacks now deal twice as much damage. So normally I deal like about 40 damage to this guy, and now I'm dealing about 90 and 80 damage. I guess you'll also notice I'll just use pod fire, because whenever I can, I use pod fire. Anyways, this is crane skip, where you, instead of shooting down this huge crane, you jump on top of it, and you skip on over to this section of the crane, which skips walking up the stairs and around this huge silo part. And now you enter the second silo, and then these guys spawn from the sky, and you'll notice that I'm holding pod slow-mo, which is I'm charging up a laser, but I'm canceling it with a pod fire, and that slows the arena down while I'm charging up the laser, and all the enemies are then slowed down for the duration of me holding the pod laser. That part I did over there was their flyers, so just try to kill them as quickly as possible, like going around in a circle and shooting as many as possible. This is bridge skip, so you do a lift here, then you do another lift, and you do a pod launch, you dash on top of here, and you're over the bridge. So to explain what's going on is I'm doing something called a double lift, which is when you're on a surface, you can do a lift, and because 2B's head touches the ground, you get another lift. It refreshes all your jumps essentially, which also allows me to get out of bounds over here. And that was factory out of bounds, and now I'm over here at silo 3. And that was essentially just, there are subbies that spawn from the sky, and you can get them all destroyed in like one laser shot. So that's what I was trying to do there. And over here it was, I tried to break their shields by hitting them. And now I'm just setting up for a laser and I'm just killing the rest of these guys as fast as I possibly can by dashing and hitting them. And that's it for Silo 3. So now we got this nice lull, and you'll notice that for moving, I'm dashing and then I'm punching right at the end of it for like a fairly short period of time. This is due to the fact that this is the fastest form of movement that you have in Weaponless. You dash for a long period of time until you get into a sprinting animation, and then you punch for 4 frames. This allows you to basically move faster than actually having weapons for a while, but by like about 2 or 3 pixels. So it's not that much faster, but do it. It's fun. Anyways, this is Mark's number 2. There was like that big saw thing. Now there's 2 of them. It's this huge, like, shock and amazement. And you can hit this big saw in the sky with a laser. And because the other saw that's coming like backwards and forwards, if you hit him with a laser and the guy at the top with a laser, you hit them both and it deals twice as much damage. So I can do it again right here. And then Mark's 2 is dead. And now we get the big RNG fest that happens, which is Angles. I like to think of Angles as just a bigger version of Mark's, but his name's Angles. Anyways, what happens is that Angles will do so many attacks for a while, and then there will be a cutscene, and after that cutscene, he'll do some more attacks. Normally, we found out that you can slow-mo this part, so that the cutscene part afterwards, like, will be more consistently not have punches. As if you get punches, or as I like to call them, slams, because he slams the ground. What happens then is that you will, you lose 20 seconds if he punches you. But if he doesn't punch you, you don't lose 20 seconds. And the only other thing you can possibly do is clap, which loses like 2 to 4 seconds. And should be coming up after this attack. Yeah, okay. If you notice, the music is actually the cue for this one. Like, right after this, it goes, ah. And I got a clap. And so, there's not really much to do, so to just have some fun, we can do some swaggy stuff. You can go right pipe, left pipe, or no pipe, and I like to do no pipe every so often. So no pipe is you just stand here, the ground breaks below you, and you land on a little piece of ledge, and now he can't hit you. Poor Angles, he tries so hard. Then the next part is like, what about right pipe or left pipe? If you just stand right about here, and then jump twice as the ground is breaking, you're now on this pipe. Super swaggy. Alright. Anyways, so after all of that happens, apparently 9S like really sucks, so he's no longer in his flight unit and landed on top of Angles. So now we gotta save him. Jeez, 9S. So we have to do another double lift right over here. And then jump over onto here, because there's no barrier over there, but in the original demo version of it, there was no barrier on the right side, so they patched that, but forgot to patch the left side. Anyways, these guys are ninjas. They like to just jump away from you, so if you taunt them and then shoot a laser at all of them, they sometimes just all die. And that is now, you're in this section, which is the final part of the prologue. This game whizzes by really fast, so there's not going to be a lot of time for like donations until like the week run or something, if there are donations. But the only thing to explain here is that we're going to wait on dialogue to happen. NieR is going to say something, and we want NieR's dialogue to finish right at the same time that Angles is going to choose another attack, and that will move us to the next part. So, yeah. If there's any donations or something you guys want to say, you can say it.
I could make bad puns, that's about it.
Not doing that. Oh, whatever. I'll just take the time loss. The way you make it so they end at around the same time is you like pause the shortcut menu, as it pauses dialogue later than it pauses the environment. And the final trick of prologue, because I always like to go for it, we can buff Angle's arm, but we can also hit Angles twice, so you can technically kill him in one hit by buffing, pressing the attack button, dashing, and then attacking at the right frame. Missed it. Oh well. And that's prologue. Now all our items got reset, so that also means that our weapons got reset. So we gotta unequip our weapons again. And now we got a menu boss. So I'm just gonna be mashing and doing menuing stuff, so for about like a minute or two. Not much is gonna happen. $5012 AD.
Morning.
So during the entirety of prologue, we didn't have 9S. It was nice. Now we have 9S. Now it's terrible. Sorry. A lot of people don't really like 9S that much, but I think he's fine. He can kill everything on level 1. Anyways, the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to go and self-destruct right here, talk to 9S, and then walk forward. What this does is it's a partner dialogue cancel. Essentially, right there, 9S goes and says, hey, there are transporters here. You can save at them. So, you know, I don't want to listen to 9S talk about that. So I just talk to him instead before he does that. And he's completely fine with me just, you know, not wanting to listen to him talk about transporters.
Way too expensive for us grunts. Too bad they can't mass produce these things yet.
Anyways, we're now tasked to go to Earth to just figure out, I guess, what the machines are doing. Which I don't know why, but whatever. And we're in shoot 'em up section number 2. Woohoo! That was early. Oh well. If you shoot, we got this new thing which just makes us shoot a bunch of laser missiles, I guess. I'm not sure what those are. Pod fire stuff at everyone in like a certain area. And if you time it correctly, you get to kill all those enemies as they spawn. and we kind of use it there, but because we're in a different perspective, we're in like this vertical perspective rather than the horizontal perspective, it goes around us and instantly kills that medium flyer. I know he's a small flyer, but he's a medium flyer. The game, if I remember correctly, says he's a small flyer with attachments, but it's totally a medium flyer. Anyways. So now we've made it to the city ruins. Such a nice, peaceful place. And we skip this cutscene right here because we can. Anyways, we got this really large drop and just live. You'll notice that every so often I will fall really fast towards the ground. And what I'm doing there is I'm doing a plunge. When you're doing a bare fist plunge, you just go straight down basically. So it's a faster way of going, falling downwards. But the problem is you have like some animation frames at the top of it. So every so often, it's faster to just not do the plunge and instead just fall. Anyways, now I got to do side quests. There's 2 side quests to do. This guy who has a broken leg. And then they're cool. Well, maybe not the guy who broke his tools, because, I mean, he just gives us weapons. I don't want any weapons. I got my bare fists. What more do you want? Side note, actually, you cannot upgrade your weapons if you have bare fists. They're not considered a weapon, so you cannot upgrade them to level 4. Which is unfortunate. It would be cool if they upgraded to 4. Anyways, this is just grabbing stuff. And then you go over here. And there's some stubbies over here. 2 of them, we don't know if 2 of them have the mission requirements that we need. We don't know which ones they are. We just know it's 2 of these guys. Oh, did it? I have no idea. I could be blind and it's already spawned. I'm probably blind and it's already spawned. Oh yeah, it is. It's right here. Anyways. The 2 stubbies that go and attack you if you shoot near them are the ones that spawn the required mission items. But it's also possible that they will drop it. And so anyways, apparently we have to talk to this person, but I don't want to. So now we have him and turn in the quest. Wait, never mind. I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to this guy. He's cooler. Wait, I didn't finish the quest? Shoot, I gotta go talk back to this guy. No. I don't want to go and look at your weapons. Anyways. After doing all those side quests, Anemone goes and says, "Hey, you have this thing we need to do over in the desert. Go over there and do it for us." Why, thank you. I definitely wanted to go over to the desert and get sand everywhere. It's just not fun. Anyways, so you'll notice that every so often I go and look in like different directions. Like I'll not looking at enemies, and sometimes I'll go and look at enemies. And the reason why is because if I don't look at enemies, then 2B won't hit them. You'll see like a small circle that will appear on the enemies. That means she is trying to attack that enemy. Okay. So if you don't look at them, then 2B doesn't know they exist and will never try to attack them. However, if they're in the line that you're trying to go, because a fair amount of this is just going from point A to point B, then you can try to attack them, know that you're not really going to hit them, and just use it as more distance kind of stuff. Anyways, now we gotta go and buy stuff. It's 1 animal bait, 1 satchel, resilience, 11 ranged, 11 melee, and the rest are medium recoveries. And also I sold some chips. Essentially what all that was is... There's a lot of stuff to explain on that. Okay, I got through it. I'll go with buys first. Essentially, we need resilience because it allows us to take hits, but still be able to hit again. The buffs are just to deal more damage faster. The recoveries are so that we can heal ourselves, so that we can take more hits. And the satchel and animal bait will be explained later. Or sachet, sorry. I just did 2 skips and didn't explain them. First, you can pod launch into a transporter, and this allows you to just kind of go through the back of the desert. Second, you can skip that barrier so you don't have to go and talk to Jackass. And you just have to hit this one small thing out of bounds to advance the plot so you don't have to go and watch a cutscene. That's a desert slide. You can slide over the left side of that rock. It's cool. Not a lot of people try it, because you can also gain air. I mean, maybe it's gone more popularity. I'm not sure. And anyways, we now have Pod C. Pod C is just a cool pod that shoots missiles and also has another pod program. This allows us to do double lasers and charge for pod lasers a little bit longer. And there's a weird glitch where if you charge Pod A and Pod C, shoot them both, and then go to Pod C will not be on cooldown. I don't know why, it's just a thing. Anyways, there are these flyers over here, and I'm going to shoot all of them. The reason why I'm going to shoot all of them is because they can possibly drop a taunt chip. And that saves about a minute if it's a taunt 1 or taunt plus 1 or taunt plus 2 in weaponless. So, hope and pray for that, but the run becomes a lot scarier if that's the case. Finally, we got one more desert slide, sand slide, before going to the desert housing. Whee! And here we are at the desert housing. So, essentially what you can do is you can clip into this area by just jumping twice and dashing into this rock formation. The game just puts you in here. And then if you dash and punch at the right angle, you get through this. You're on 1 floor below, you need to go up a floor. So then you get on top of this sand stuff. And now you're able to go to the atom pit. Which is where we need to go to anyways. This game's based off of triggers, and essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to advance those triggers to the point that we can then go and actually perform all the stuff that we want to do. So you see that the objective marker advanced. It's close. This means that if I go over here, all the stuff that's supposed to be there is actually there. If I go there any earlier, then it's not there. I did not get a taunt chip. So, anyways, these are all these cool bipeds. You just gotta kill them as fast as possible. And let's just do that. After killing so many fairly quickly, this guy spawns and he's like, "Ah, you killed all my brethren." And then you just punch him in the face, and now we got an auto-scroller. So we're waiting for the dialogue of "this cannot continue" to happen, like, I think it's 10 times or something? So, yeah. Since we're waiting,
This cannot continue.
yeah. Anyways, I want to get as many levels as I possibly can, because I want to be super high leveled. Oh, I think I'm... yeah, okay. Should be okay. I think it's early. It was early. I got lucky. Anyways, so this is a big guy. He's... Alan? Adam? I don't remember his name. He's kind of naked. There's this thing that he says. And if you have taunt plus 1 or taunt plus 2, you can skip it. If you don't, you can't. Oh well. It's just based off of how much damage you deal in a short period of time. So anyways, kind of like that. You just want to shoot this guy, so he drops right back down. Taunts him. He's doing an attack. Just gonna punch him in the face. And then he's gone. Yay! And that's the end of whatever that fight was. I forget what his name is. Whatever. And now we have to escape the desert. So these platforms do break and like fall down and stuff, but if you use your pod fire, hold your pod laser, you slow the environment down so that it doesn't break fast enough, so you can just go over it normally.
Looks like we're safe.
What the hell just happened?
I know. I've never seen a machine like that.
Anyways, now we're just moving over fairly fast to the box that's over here, because this box is kind of funky. You can do a clip through it, and allows you to kind of skip this long dialogue sequence where 9S goes and talks to the bunker and says, "Hey, stuff's happened." I've been trying to do it with that, and I forgot that that's what I was supposed to do. Whatever. Going on autopilot. Anyways, we go in out of bounds and then jump over this large area of nothingness and are now able to save the game, load it, and skip having to listen to 9S talk to the bunker. And also get closer to our next objective, which is to listen to 9S talk about, "I'm tired." Just say no, though, because I don't want to. I want to fight. I want to continue fighting. I don't want to be tired and go to sleep.
Data upload complete.
Roger.
I also have an incoming message from the commander.
Because it's faster.
Playback. 2B, 9S. We've lost contact with several Yorha units that were on their way to the surface.
Now in any percent, you'll know that you'll go on top of these buildings
We've tracked
and then do a plunge, because your plunge is the fastest form of movement for a while. But in Weaponless, because being on the ground is the fastest form of movement, going up on those buildings is actually a lot slower.
Target location confirmed. Don't worry about the
Anyways, then you can kind of go over that, but I don't want to. I want to go through.
So 2B.
So we're going through these sewers.
The desert looked just
Ew,
like
it's gross.
androids, right? But we androids were modeled
Anyways,
so why would machines try
this is because there's a trigger right as you're leaving the sewers. So it's faster to go through the sewers and up this ladder rather than to go over the top. Anyways, there's a cutscene right over here. We're gonna jump over it. They're probably pretty cool. They also have this table here. It allows us to do a double lift, get on top of this building, and then kind of out of bounds. And now we're out of bounds, and because we're out of bounds, we can go on top of the roller coaster. Woohoo! Party! Anyways, we hit this trigger over here, and it allows us to advance the roller coaster a bit. Then we can summon the coaster from out of bounds. Oh, I'm on top of it. Whatever. Forgot the movement. It's a small jump, then a dash. It's fine. Anyways, after that, I was supposed to go and kill the park tank. Don't worry, run's still safe. I'm just gonna lose like 30 seconds. So, right now I'm just gonna kill some of these guys. Not much else is gonna happen for a while. Ow. Punch me. Alright, cool. So that's all the hard stuff out of the way. So since I messed up the roller coaster, the thing is that the roller coaster has actually registered that we've gone to Boulevard, but we haven't actually registered that we've gone on the roller coaster. In order to register that, we need to go over on the stairs. So right over here, you jump twice, do a pod launch, pod spin, dash, pod spin, and the game will have registered that you've gone on the roller coaster and hit the part to say that the roller coaster's moved forward. Anyways, this is Boulevard. She's a cool person. She likes to sing. Because I forgot to do something. Settings, game, passive, long range. There you go. Alright. So now 9S is on long range, which means he's going to shoot Boulevard while I try to punch Boulevard. Such a nice proposal. And you'll notice that I'm jumping and punching twice. This is because this is actually the faster form of attacking Boulevard. Just because you get more pod fire damage in. No, this is bad. Okay, well, it's good enough. Basically, the faster you threshold her, the faster she'll go over here. So it's an auto-scroller kind of thing. It was a 5 cycle. Oh well. Anyways, this is hacking. This is the only time in the game where you get to see, I guess, ending C. But ending A, there's not. Then shoot another laser to get all these guys out. And just dash punch to kill everyone else. possible. Alright, now hope for good RNG. Basically, if Vuvar does a really long attack, this is bad. If she does a short attack... Oh, of course. You do this. Like the longest attack you could do.
Okay, so, I'll just make you live and then I'll tell you that I've unpaused the timer.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and you're back.
Alright. Apparently I was having internet issues and didn't realize it. Anyways. So, this is just the final part. We hit her for a little bit, and then blow up because of frustration of not getting good RNG. And then we just go and talk to these little Yorha units. Oh, I missed it. That was a door clip. Essentially, you can clip through that door if you do a dash punch or just a normal dash into it. And so you slow the entire world down so you can get over there. Continuing onwards. There's this little guy over here. He goes and tells us that we should go to this village. We say no. Nina says, no, we should go there. And we go there. Apparently we listen to 9S for our directions. Continuing onwards, you're just dash punching over to this new village. I don't know what it is. It's probably like some cool village with a bunch of machines at it. All suspicious.
So why don't the machines, or the aliens who created them, attack the bunker directly? They originally came from outer space, right?
Well, there are a few theories about that, but no one knows for sure.
Trying to shoot him.
Hard to tell what an alien is thinking, you know?
Anyways, there's a cutscene there. Oh, I forgot to say that. So, whenever you enter a cutscene, you want to either jump into it or attack into it. And the reason why is because whenever a cutscene plays and 2B is on the ground running, the game will do a slow walk for you. Because it's like you're discovering this new world, you need to see what everything looks like. But that's slow, it wastes like 4 seconds every single time you get it. So instead, if you jump into them or attack into them, it cancels that slow walk animation. Anyways, we met this new village. There's a villager named Pascal. She tells us that they have oil. So we're giving that to the resistance camp. Ooh, a boar. I was really far away from the boar. Nice. Whatever, it works. Ooh, boar hopping.
Honestly, QB,
Feels slow. Anyways,
Definitely not the person to discuss
this boar is faster than dash punching, so we use him to get all the way over here.
I did one more day in this bunker.
Oh, I jumped off.
you leaving would be bad.
Well,
It would affect mission efficiency.
okay. I accidentally pressed B, so I guess we're no longer using the boar.
Are you saying you need me to be?
All model vehicles
Because I messed up, I guess that means we're no longer using the boar in boar hopping. Now I'm sad. Well, I guess we gotta listen to the end of this audio
That's all. Closing this channel.
and talk to Anemone. She tells us there's a room over there. We should investigate it. I don't want to investigate it. It's creepy. Anyways,
What do you think?
so
Transmitting to us directly.
Now you believe we're not a threat?
Your mouth can say anything it wants, but you still can't.
ow,
I suppose that's
ow. Wait,
free to visit our village.
dang it! I'm supposed to go back to Pascal's village. Oh well. At least it's saved, so, you know, I'll just teleport back there, I guess. Gotta repeat the quest. Alright, wait. Yeah, the quest didn't start. That's weird.
What's that noise?
Whatever, I'll roll with it. So, essentially, we made it back to Pascal's village and skipped our quest.
From the bunker.
Nice.
There's a lion-sized enemy inside the city ruins. And it looks like there are a ton of other
To explain what's going on, that's a death warp. Whenever you die, you just warp to wherever you last saved or last checkpoint in the game. The checkpoint's essentially a phase, which is kind of how this game runs in. So right now we're in the city angles phase. Which is, there are these two big city angles things in the ruined city. And they don't like us. So we gotta take them out.
Probably shouldn't get near that guy's feet. Yeah, no.
But for some reason, we're speedy boys, so, and I guess girls too. Because 2B is a girl. So, we don't want to go and do all of them. Just want to do the least amount that's required. So, all you need to do is just go over to where the, I'm trying to remember while riding is hard. You need to go over to the flight units that are over on top of the building to the right. So, fastest way to do it is to go to this ladder right over here and jump up it a couple times. Oh, this is too many. Ah, well, I tried to jump through a hole. I missed it. Oh well, I'll just do a double lift on a rock then. Anyways, because you can either jump through a hole while the platform is breaking, or you can just double lift off a rock, you skip having to face off against this one. How nice. The game is so thoughtful. It just was like, you know, we hear you want to go and fight these guys, but we know you don't really want to. Anyways. Ah, that was early. The first missile got eaten. Oh well. If you shoot a pod laser too early, it gets eaten. Alright. This is gonna be fun. So a new skip was figured out for NieR Automata. Credits to Alloy Arc for finding this out. Turns out you can do it without weapons as well. It's known as EDS, Extended Dialogue Storage. And what you can do is you can take a dialogue that some of these enemies say and move it over into another scene to cancel some other dialogue.
We've intercepted a signal belonging to the aliens. These are the creatures
So, first what you need to do is you need to hit this dialogue trigger right over here.
Attempting to analyze
It seems to be underground.
There you go.
Way underground.
Guess we'll see.
This also gives us another glitch called zoom glitch or Skype glitch. Basically, whenever, because the commander was so mad that we canceled her call while she was talking, she now made everyone no longer do the Skype thing at the beginning of each call. And now we can just jump over that to get into the park. And then there's this guy right over here. It's cool. So we're gonna hit him 4 times. Hold Y, press B. And now we've made it to the amusement park and he says, welcome. Here's your stamp. And we're gonna go switch over to keyboard mouse. Look at this tree for a bit. That's good. Pod launch into this corner, dash, and plunge. I missed it a little bit. There we go. And now we're out of bounds again. And you may be wondering, well, where am I? I'm actually in negotiations, where Adam and Eve are here to go and tell you, hey, we're cool people. I think that's what they say. But instead, we can kind of just skip all their dialogue by having this dialogue up on screen. So instead of doing an actual fight with them, instead you get to see this.
2B. Look.
You'll find stamps inside the amusement park. Make sure to search high and low.
Destroyed alien motherships.
Also, sorry that the game is running at 30 FPS. The cutscenes run at 30 FPS. But the game runs at 60 FPS. Anyways. Now the fight's over. And that's how you beat Adam and Eve. I think that's what their names are. Or it was like Alan and Ed. I don't know.
Stop them.
Anyways,
2B. This is Operator 60.
so now that that's all done with,
Operational transporter in the city room. We're attempting
we have unlocked transporters. It is the way to teleport between different locations really quickly, which is cool.
To a temporary body back in the bunker.
Okay, you're stuck.
So immediately we're gonna teleport to the bunker and listen to the commander tell us stuff. Oh. Get like a couple seconds of stretching, I guess. Anyways, this is where a bunch of buying is gonna come up. But first, another partner dialogue cancel. Because NieR really likes to talk. And this time he doesn't really like the commander that much. Because I don't like NieR talking smack about the commander. I'm just gonna skip it.
Why don't we rest a little bit, 2B?
And now there's 3 transporters we can use. I'm gonna use the middle one.
Feel like it.
Anyways, you go to Pascal's village. We're gonna talk to Pascal. Pascal's gonna tell us, oh hey, there's stuff in the forest. You should go check it out. After that, we're gonna go and do some buys. It's gonna be to sell enough stuff to buy, to have 27,000 gold, and then to buy buffs. So this is just hoping for chip luck. Alright, let's see what I got. I don't need HP, I don't need skill, I don't need a mini-map. I got drop rate and... God, this is bad. Okay, well I need about 7,000 more. Let's just see what happens, I guess. Anyways. So there's this NPC here. We call her Mom. You can just jump over her. You don't have to listen to her quest. Or her child screaming.
Say, 2B,
That's Mom Skip.
when do you think you'll be willing to call me Nines?
9S works just fine.
Now 9S talks about the fact that he's not called Nines. And he's sad about it. So we don't care that he's not called Nines.
Rough sometimes, huh?
And just continue onwards with the game.
And you should work
Poor
on
Nines.
keeping your opinions in check. You're
No one gives him enough love.
emotional, remember?
I think some of us are better at that. Others. This must be the commercial structure Pascal was talking about. The records say
Anyways, another partner dialogue cancel. Because 9S talks a lot. We don't want him to talk anymore. So now he's no longer talking. Now, for like this short period of time, you're gonna see them dashing and punching. This is because I'm flying backwards, because these enemies are actually like 6 or 7 levels ahead of me. And whenever an enemy is 6 or more levels ahead of you, unless they are a Yorha unit, you will get something called a pushback, which is whenever you hit them, you go flying backwards. This is actually used to our advantage over doing double damage glitch a lot easier. But in Weaponless, it's actually a disadvantage because you can no longer attack twice and weapon swap. Because when you try to weapon swap, the second attack will miss. But instead, used for a short while, then we're not going to use it. Then it's going to be used again. Then we're not going to use it, and it's going to be used again. The game is nice on knowing. Anyways, continuing onwards. We are now trying to make it to the forest castle by doing some cool movement through the forest and then going to do Mario Kart. Too low? Oh well. So that's just clipping out of bounds. Sorry, it's really fast. You just dash and punch under a tree and you get out of bounds over in the castle. And then after that, you go up over here. You have to just do a couple of delayed lifts. That's another thing. If you do jump and heavy, you do a lift. If you do jump and heavy, but you delay the heavy after the jump, you do a delayed lift, which allows you to get more height. In Weaponless, you don't really have the luxury of being able to get more height from pressing the heavy attack in midair, as that just sends you going straight down. So, whenever you can, you try to get more height. Anyways, this is A2,
Yorha type android.
or as I like to call her, an android, because this just what 9S says.
Violation.
She's a pretty simple fight. All you do is use buff, and then just kind of wail on her. She has a hard time doing stuff.
9N, we've picked up a signal from the black box of fuses known as A2. What is in front of you in your head? She deserted us. She's destroyed multiple systems. Now we know from the form of you.
Yep. That's the A2 fight.
Let's go after her, 2B.
Anyways, after you just stand there and do your punch stuff, you can escape by doing a lift right here, and then your head will sometimes hit the ground for you to do another lift and jump over this invisible wall. This allows you to then go into this teleporter and transport to Pascal's village. But basically, during the A2 fight, whenever you punch her, she gets staggered. So the entire fight is you punch her and she gets staggered the entire time. Right. Final things before Groon. You just need to talk to Pascal over here. He goes and tells you that A2 is cool, if I remember correctly. Then you shoot the children, because it's faster to shoot the children. If I can go and hit this transporter. Well, I lost a little time. I probably saved from not hitting the transporter. Oh, I shouldn't have shot the children. Now I'm sad. Anyways, you'll notice that the objective marker is over in the resistance camp, and I transported to the desert camp. The reason why is because in the desert camp, there is a machine over here called Emil.
It's not recommended to interface with machines without consulting command.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He goes and drives around in circles.
Curiosity can be added.
It's like his favorite thing to do.
Thanks, 2B.
Still, machine
And I can sing.
don't forget it.
He likes to sing Everything's a Sale. Anyways, I want to talk to him, so I'm going to just pod fire him. Yes, I want to buy some stuff by first selling all my dented plates, all my rusted bolts, all the embers. I need that much, so it's like 10. Okay. This should be good enough. Anyways, no. Need 4 taunts. Sorry. Doing math in my head.
Come in, 2B. The monitoring signal from the new access point has gone silent. I'm sending you the positional data. Please investigate the site as soon as possible.
Understood.
So you buy all these taunt chips so that you can go over to the resistance camp and talk to the resistance camp trader, the maintenance shop, that's what it is, and they will allow you to upgrade your chips. So you fuse them together to get taunt plus 5. Anyways, now Anemone goes and tells us we need to go to the flooded city. Cool. So I'm just gonna jump over into that little crevice and get out of bounds and equip Taunt. Taunt allows us to deal Sorry, I didn't explain this earlier, but you deal more damage. Trying to focus, sorry. You'll have noticed that I was flashing my flashlight a while. Come on, pressed heavy, come on. Sorry, trying to skip. It's hard. Okay. You'll notice I flashed my flashlight earlier, and it got all the enemies red. And essentially what that does is it makes them take 1.5 times more damage. And whenever an enemy takes 1.5 times more damage, you know, you deal 1.5 times more damage to them, but they also deal 1.5 times more damage to you. So, essentially, because we increased our taunt chip, now this 1.5 times damage goes to about, I think it's 4, and then I think we're now at like 4.5 times damage or something. It's something ridiculously high like that. It just means everything kind of gets eliminated really fast. Anyways, so for basically the entire duration after this section, I'm going to be taunting everything, and anything can two-shot me. And what is this section? It's Grun, or Grun. It's a 10-minute long auto-scroller with not really much to do. So, yeah. It's again just killing everything as quickly as it spawns, and I guess explaining what happens in Grun as it comes along. So yeah. If there's any donations or anything you guys want to say, you can say it. So I think because this section's kind of long, I think it was Fullest is what it was. He created a bot that essentially said Grun facts, and those facts kind of like real life people who are named Grun, kind of like who they are and I think what they did or something. I was thinking of making a bot similar to that, but not just for Grun, for like everyone, as all the names that I've talked about that are like the machines are kind of based off of philosophers that are dead. Like different quotes from them maybe, or just like their day life. I feel like it'd be fun. Anyways, so this is the Goliath Flyer. Likes to do stuff. Oh, did Nina steal it? Nice.
What on? If it's that big, we should be able to see it.
Alright. Thanks, 9S. He's a hero sometimes, but he stole Goliath Flyer. One of the issues with having 9S on long range is that he can sometimes steal your EXP. Because if he kills something, then you don't get the EXP from it. So if I killed Goliath Flyer, I would have leveled up to about 13 or 14. But since I didn't kill it, I'm level 12.
Command is attempting to launch a satellite laser strike on your cousin, but again, the electromagnetic camouflage is making it impossible to aim. We need you to find the emitter and take it out.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, I know, but it's the only way.
Good job, 9S. Stealing all my EXP.
Go ahead. This thing raises land on the grid.
Hog level 13. So the main objective of Grun is to kill his cores. There's about, there's 3 of them, actually, but it looks like there's a ton more. And one of the things that can happen is that you can just not attack a core because you can just set it to the side. If you can't attack the core, then it makes the fight longer.
Electromagnetic interference eliminated.
I got that EXP.
Satellite laser strike.
Oh, come on! It's got an electromagnetic failure over its whole body?
Having trouble over there?
Are you Yorha?
Hunter Squadron deploying out of North 12th East Ventilation. I'm the commanding officer, 4B. Don't worry, we'll take it from here.
2B, let's leave this area as a reinforcement. I have an idea. You and I should meet up at the spot I just marked.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is my mouse. You'll see it again later. Because, during EDS, I forgot to say that, it's kind of a precise trick. And since you're trying not to advance the dialogue in it, you, use keyboard and mouse to do all the inputs.
Let's try for a more direct approach.
Whenever 9S says approach, you can shoot a mortar into his mouth. And it just lines it up pretty nicely. In Japanese, if you don't really know where it is, you can just shoot it constantly and you'll be fine too. I guess because it's Halloween, I can say that this run gets a lot scarier after this, since everything two-shots me, and now I'm not really on the level part that I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be like level 14 or 15 at this point, and I am 13, so I may die. So I guess that's, you know, kind of scary. Alright, this is core number 2. Nice, level 14. Nice. Not bad. Alright, so that's grown over with. And now the real scary part starts. So I have taunt plus 5. Everything will two-shot me. And there's a hard skip that's coming up in a bit. But first, we need to get there. So, to make it easier, you can just drown warp. Because there's all this water over here. If you hit a certain area and fall into it, you'll hit this trigger instead of a different one, which spawns Operator 60 talking about how 9S is missing. And it skips the jumping puzzle, which is pretty nice. And then another one is you just drown right here. And it's faster than just going on the ground through here. Now you may be wondering, but why don't you go and use the transporter that's right in the flooded city? Well, the reason why it's the cave, City Ruins Cave, is because the City Ruins Cave transporter is actually locked. If you noticed earlier, I got a quest called Investigating Communications. That quest essentially means that the transporter that's down here is being attacked by machines. So it turns it offline until you go over there and turn it back online. So that's why I can't transport there. Anyways, now we've entered the secret area known as the Copied City. And this place has a lot of white blocks, I guess. And I guess nice piano music as well. Anyways, I had a sneaking suspicion that this place had 9S, so I just went over here.
What's with the corpses?
You know, it's pretty nice. Anyways, this is mansplaining. Adam talks for a really long time, so skip that by just going over here, lining ourselves up with about here. There we go. Bounce. And now we've exited the boss arena. This first phase ends when Adam starts talking about, I think it's like death and stuff. So we can just skip that entire dialogue by going to this elevator and entering it. It's conflict. So all of Adam's dialogue's now been skipped, and now let's fight. Or Alan. I forget what his name is. I think it said Adam.
Let us embrace death.
Okay, why would we want to embrace death? Just saying, thinking. It's not really that great. Maybe because it's Halloween. He's trying to get into the spirit of Halloween and be a ghost. Anyways, so the boss fight is just you punch him by dash punching. Of the thing I was talking about earlier, how you get pushback whenever you hit him. Alright, I'm gonna be safe because I'm behind on levels. And that's the end of the fight. Okay, I'm guessing someone in the chat saw that I didn't skip the cutscene fast enough, and saw that 2B stabbed Adam or Alan.
This is 2B.
Oh, well,
Patch me through to the
I missed that.
Oh, hey, Doobie. Roger that. Give me just a second here.
And thinks that this isn't a weaponless run because I've stabbed him in this chest.
We learned that the machine, codenamed Adam, was responsible for
So,
managing
no, cutscenes don't count. You can use your weapons in cutscenes.
the machine significantly.
It's not like 2B is, you can control the cutscenes anyways.
He'll undergo a full data overhaul up here.
You also have like a 1.8 second delay whenever you try to skip a cutscene. Anyways, so there's a slight skip that you can do there,
Take a look.
which to do that you talk to that one resistance person who's at a computer, and then you jump, and it skips all that dialogue, but I missed that, so instead I'll just go over here.
Something tells me this is going to involve a lot of killing.
And now I'm just going to the factory.
Scout, can you hear me?
But because I messed this up, I get to show off the next thing, which is
I need to know if you've seen any
a small time save that not a lot of people use.
Well, 2 days ago I was
Because it's hard to get to this spot.
disconnected themselves from the network. They wanted to discuss the history.
No kidding.
Apparently, they're seeking to form an alliance of some kind with our village.
If that's what they want,
Sorry, trying to think.
I believe they're working on building a colony of their own.
you don't say.
Apparently,
Okay,
it's located
that's where it's at.
in the factory. I can give
Sounds good.
I was actually planning to go speak with them myself.
If you know. Maybe we can meet up over there. That's good enough.
Sounds good.
So if you self-destruct right here, and then you'll stand up and you'll walk super fast. And then you go back to slow walking. That's essentially the small time save.
Certainly does.
Also, this means you can look up 2B skirt, I guess. I don't want to do that. Alright, now about, like, I guess 30 seconds of not much happening. We have to wait for this guy to walk all the way over here to this spot. And then once he's here, the elevator opens. He doesn't have to push it, it just has to be standing here. It's kind of funny. And then after the elevator opens, we can enter the deep factory. And this is where a bunch of shenanigans are going to happen in very quick succession. I'll try to explain everything that's happening as quickly as possible. So first, I gotta talk to Pascal. He tells us to let's get going. And it skips him this dialogue of him being like, oh hey, there's stuff down here. We should be careful. I think that's what it is. Anyways, afterwards, jump in the air and you can match the dialogue of that guy telling you that this is the grace. Oh, he's a prophet. And, well, something bad happens to him. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, that's right. He just sits there. That's what happens. Now all these guys get incredibly aggressive at you, so you're like, well, I'm out. So to get out, you can just go right over here to this corner, do a pod launch, and got it. After doing a pod launch, you void out. When you void out, you despawn every single enemy that's up there, and the game goes like, oh, you despawned all the enemies. Let me open this elevator. It's based off of how many enemies you've killed, and apparently despawning enemies works. So now we have to open the elevator, so I'm just going to wait a bit by dashing around in a circle, going in here, and Pascal will sometimes just teleport to the right location, which is inside the elevator. After riding this elevator, 9S is here and he goes like, whoa. And then we skip all his dialogue. He likes to say whoa. But I want to go up the elevator again, so if I do a lift, jump, and a pod launch, sometimes I'll clip out of bounds here, sometimes I won't. If I don't, then I can just plunge, and after voiding out, the elevator respawns, but now the doors are closed, so we can re-enter it and go all the way back up to the previous level that we were at. This allows us to now go over here and try for Factory V1 or Deep Factory V2. I'll try for 2, why not? No, okay. Deep Factory V1 is you just go into that area right straight below me. Deep Factory V2 is you do a plunge right over here. Okay, almost got it. And you hold onto the pod right at the last second. Now that that crusher sequence is done with, you go right next to this guy. He shoots a bunch of stuff at me. I don't like him. I'm just going to slow that down so I don't hit any of it. And we continue onwards to, I think his name's Koshi? I think this one's Koshi. Or, no, it's Soshi. That's what it is. His name is. So, that's the next boss. And it is the last boss before the boss rush, which is just the end of the game, essentially. So we've got about, like, I guess 10 minutes left or so. anyways, Koshi's a pretty cool boss. Yeah, so normally you can get to the top of that bridge and just kind of sit up there while Koshi just does nothing. But without weapons, you kind of can't do that. So instead, we could do some more interesting things and make Koshi dizzy. The way to do that is you just stand next to his leg for a bit and then go to the other leg. And every so often, Koshi will just kind of be like, well, I need to go on this side now and try to hit you. Sometimes he'll just do other attacks though, so there's just not much to do for this. You're waiting for just, again, a timing thing. Whee! Spinny, spinny. Oh, it's this side. So I'm trying to knock off one of his legs so I can expose his core that's in his tail and then shoot him a bunch. Whenever you hit the core, you deal double damage to him. This just takes him down slightly faster. And that's Koshi. Got it. So you can activate elevators in this game by jumping, punching, and then pressing B on the elevator trigger. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it works. Anyways, this is leaving the deep factory. So, during this section, you just need to kind of exit the way you came. We do all the same stuff. Factory's out of bounds. You can also do something called shabu skip, but it's kind of hard weaponless, because usually you use the mini-map to line you up, and due to me having taunt +5, I don't have a mini-map. So the other way to do it is to just use the pod flashlight, which isn't the best lineup in the game. So since it doesn't really save that much time, I'd rather just go through not doing shabu skip. Shabu would talk about how doing shabu skip is like poetic, as it was found by Shabu.
I'm heading back to the resistance camp. What about you?
Anyways, this is the final part of the run. Basically, what ends up happening is you go to the resistance camp. At the resistance camp, you fight a bunch of machines. Then you leave the resistance camp, and then fight like
Say again?
3, 4 bosses. I forget how many it is in a row, and then the game ends. So, yeah.
Let's move.
I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are excited, but I'm really excited. And also super nervous. I don't have a lot of buffs. Because I had to sell some of mine. But I usually buy way too many anyways. Alright. So you think, like, there's all these enemies here, but no, you don't have to fight any of these guys. Weird. Just thinking about it. the resistance camp hires you to go and get rid of all the machines that are in here. You're only killing the ones that are in the back of the resistance camp. So you'll notice that I was using a laser there, the pod laser, and the reason for that is because it's kind of hard to get these stubbies in. You use a pod laser. Oh Jesus, monk ass. So remember how there was a machine over in the deep factory? Okay. This is Bokushi. A pretty simple fight. Instead of hitting his core, you just instead hit him in the back a bunch. Nice. Well, good enough. I was trying to sell. Okay, that should work. So, essentially what I'm doing is setting up so I can self-destruct. Oh, I didn't. Ah! I'm good. Never mind. It's all good. So, it was to shoot him with a laser, taunt him, and then self-destruct. Oof, that was scary. Immediately, but that it did work, so that was definitely scary. Because if you self-destruct, you're on 1 HP, but you deal a lot of damage, so. You can also die fairly quickly. You gain iframes though after you self-destruct until you stand up again, so. Alright. Anyways. Okay. Come on, Core 2, just fall down. You're not supposed to fall down there, but I guess you can fall down there, so it's gonna go underground. Oh, okay, never mind, that's good. So the first one was Core 1, you self-destruct to kill him. And Core 2 is just a really long snake. Usually he falls on the ground, you can just dash punch to defeat him. But sometimes he does that and trolls you. But Podfire does deal a lot. Anyways, standing next to Eve. And he says everything must die. Kind of weird guy. Alright. Let's see if I get this. There's something called platforms in this game. And essentially what happens is Oh, I'm not getting it. Whatever. It's good enough. No, this one. You can skip the platforms if you deal enough damage during that phase. Sam. It's kind of how a lot of these things are.
He's absorbing the life force of whatever's left on the network. Get anywhere like this.
Okay. So to explain what was going on there, if Eve does not hit full HP before that dialogue section ends, then you skip the second part of Eve going back to full HP and 9S trying to hack him. So that. I was slow-moving, so Eve didn't have time to get to that point, and then I was trying to, I guess, I don't know what the final part was. Just trying to finish this up. I was slow-moving and pause buffering to stop the world so that I had enough time. Anyways. Taunting Eve, and then you shoot him with podfire, and oh god. After Eve goes down, you sit next to 9S for 30 seconds. And that's the end of the game. Time's coming.
But you'll lose you. The you that exists at this very moment.
Kiss. Can't upload this corrupted data to the bunker. So,
9S.
Yeah. GG. Oh, that was scary. Shoutouts to the NieR Drakengard community for helping route this run. And no, we're not watching that ending part. We're 2B chokes 9S. If you want to join the community, we're at sponsored by drakengard.com. I think it's still open, or NieR Speedruns. Both of those Discord links might still work. Anyways, that's about the people who routed this. Me, Ame, Kasern, Alloyarch, I guess also Marbles.